Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So I love discovering new fragrances, especially discovering hidden gem fragrances, kind of underrated fragrances. I've done several videos about that on my channel. And today I want to take it sort of a little bit further or in a slightly different direction. And I want to talk about underrated fragrance houses. Because there are definitely houses out there that are very hyped up, that are very talked about, and there are some others that I think are absolutely amazing, and it's like no one or almost no one talks about them, and I think they are worth being talked about. So today I'm going to talk about a few of those houses that, in my opinion, deserve more attention and more hype than they get. So let's start with the house of Zarkoperfume, which is a niche house from Denmark, I think. Now, I have two of their fragrances, that's Pink Molecule and Purple Molecule. They definitely have a lot more in their catalog, like not a huge amount, but they have a number of other fragrances. If I understand correctly, I think a majority of their fragrances are kind of molecular fragrances. And so the two that I have are definitely molecular, like I said, Pink and Purple Molecule. Now, these fragrances are definitely not groundbreaking or super complex, but I think they are good quality and they're quite mass appealing and they're really fun to wear. They're not, well, at least I haven't encountered many interesting molecular fragrances. Maybe I just haven't tested them, I don't know. But these ones definitely stand out to me. I mean, both of them are kind of these, happy, bright, summery type of scents. Pink Molecule has a note of champagne. I think there is apricot or peach, and there is whipped cream. I mean, there are some woody notes. It's not groundbreaking in any way, but it's so lovely. It's so pretty. It's sort of not groundbreaking, but at the same time, like, it doesn't smell like anything else to me. I can't think of any other fragrance that it reminds me of. It definitely has its own signature, but it's this fruity, sweet, sort of musky, beautiful, bubbly, girly, happy type of scent. Really, really pretty, really, really pleasant to wear. And also, I should mention that, especially recently, I've seen these fragrances pop up on discounter sites for very, very reasonable prices. I mean, what is happening with prices on fragrances in general? I mean, designer fragrances are going insane. I mean, the prices are outrageous. So, this on discounter site is much better price than many of the designer fragrances. Like, yeah, it's just crazy. Anyways, I think this is really, really pretty. In a very similar way, Purple Molecule is also this fun summery scent. It's a little bit more tropical. I know it has some floral notes in it. I think sandalwood, maybe vanilla as well, maybe some fruits. I can't remember, but I think it's more florals, although like it's hard to pick out individual notes. Actually, in both of these, they just kind of give off this overall feel, overall vibe, but it's hard for me to pick out individual notes. I remember the notes because, when I was researching, buying them or whatever, I looked on Fragrantica, so I kind of remember some of the notes. But if you just gave this to me to smell and said, tell me what notes are in this, honestly, I don't think I'll be able to pick them out. It's just this overall happy, bright feel for the summer. Very feminine, very girly. Anyways, I think these are very pretty. Not groundbreaking, but very, very pretty and really deserve some attention. Next house that is not very talked about is the house of Pantheon Roma. I have two fragrances from them. That is Trastevere and Dolce Passion. Both are beautiful, beautiful fragrances. And both are kind of slightly unusual as well, I think. Let's start with Trastevere. Here we have, I don't know, I know there are chestnuts, I know there is vanilla, and there are a few other notes. The pyramid is not very extensive on this one. And the way that it smells is so interesting. Like, to me, it has very nutty quality. It's a little bit sweet and almost a little bit boozy in a way. It's not very sweet, but definitely very nutty, boozy, maybe even just a touch powdery. I don't know. Hard to describe. It's so unique. Like it's so unique. It almost has a slight vibe of like unsweetened peanut butter. I don't know. That's kind of, it makes me think about that. Yeah, very beautiful, very unisex scent. This is a scent that both my husband and I enjoy. He likes it on me, and sometimes he wears it on himself as well. So it's a really, really interesting, different type of scent. Now, Dolce Passion, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but this is also an interesting scent because overall, you know, if I had to describe it, this is a chocolate scent, but it's different. What I love here, it has obviously chocolate. To me, it smells like dark chocolate. It has truffles in it, and they add such beautiful touch to this fragrance, you know? I absolutely despise truffles in Tom Ford's Black Orchid, but I love the addition of truffles in here. It just gives something really earthy and really sexy to this scent, without becoming too gloomy. The chocolate is not very sweet, although there is some sweetness in here. I think there is vanilla, perhaps even honey or caramel in this. So I feel like the sweetness is not really coming from chocolate. Like, it's not milk chocolate to me. It's dark chocolate that's not very sweet, but you have some other sweet elements that add sweetness to it. So it's beautiful, really beautiful, intoxicating, maybe even slightly boozy scent as well. So I think both of these are stunning. Both of these are a little bit unique, and they definitely deserve more attention than they get. Let's talk about the next house that I've talked about for a really, really long time. And you know, still, I feel like this house is just not popular for whatever reason, but I think it is stunning. And that is the house of Jewel et Mad. Now, I currently have two fragrances from them. I have Secrets du Paradis Rouge. I have Stairway to Heaven, and I also have Nia. Okay, let me put them down. It's definitely more challenging holding 3 scents than 2. So let me put them down before I break them, and we will talk about each one separately. Okay, let's start with the one that I've had the longest. That is Nia, which is one of the most beautiful scents featuring the note of dates. There is pomegranate, there is palm leaf, there might be some caramel or something else in here. I don't know, but it's really sweet and it's kind of fresh at the same time, and it's even a little bit tart at the same time. It's just a stunning, stunning, stunning scent, you know? Absolutely amazing. Second one is Secrets du Paradis Rouge, which is kind of in the same scent profile as Killian Love. You know, you have that really sweet orange blossom. The difference here is that there is honey in here, and it's very prominent note. So majority of the sweetness I feel like is coming from honey. And then of course you have a lot of other floral notes. I think there's neroli in here. I don't know if petitgrain is here, but neroli for sure. And some other florals and vanilla. But overall you get these really sweet florals, like with orange blossom being prominent, and then heavy dose of sweetness, mostly coming from honey. So yeah, beautiful and amazing, amazing performance. And of course, Stairway to Heaven is the most unusual out of all of these scents in general. One of the most unique in my collection. Definitely not everybody's cup of tea for sure, but for me, it's a very special scent. It has aldehydes, it has heliotrope, it has red berries. There is a note of gunpowder in here along with some others. And this is this kind of cold scent, like it's like a breath of cold air combined with a little bit of powderiness, combined with some fruity sweetness from these red berries. And it's just, it's very uplifting type of scent. Like it's sort of uplifting and calming at the same time. There's something very special about this scent to me. It's not the type of scent that I can wear like every day. This is definitely not an easy reach scent. I have to be in the right mood to wear this scent, but when I am in the right mood, this is very, very special. So these are the 3 scents that I currently have. I have tried a number of other of their scents. I had Ninshar as well, which is kind of this fresh, fruity oud type of scent. It was very lovely. For some reason, I wasn't using it. I wasn't reaching for it, so I decluttered it, but only because I wasn't using it, not because it's a bad scent. Another kind of standout from this house, I think, is Stilettos on Legs, something like that. I'm gonna put the right name somewhere on the screen. And this is a pear scent that was really nice. Wasn't exactly for me because it sort of had a lot of, maybe a little too much spiciness in it. There was something in it that was bothering me, and so I never got a full bottle, but it's also an interesting and beautiful scent. And of course, they have many others, some of which I have tried and some I have not tried. But in general, I think it's an underrated house that definitely deserves to be tried and to be talked about more. Next on this list, I have the house of Paris Monte Carlo, and I have 2 fragrances from them, Vanille de Tahiti and Arancia di Sicilia. Now, this is a house where I have not tried many fragrances. I tried something else in addition to these 2, which I can't remember now, but I've tried one more. But the 2 that I have, I'm really impressed by, and I think they're beautiful, beautiful scents that deserve more hype. I mean, let's start with Vanille de Tahiti. Gorgeous, interesting vanilla scent, different from the others. This is kind of, I would call it a tropical vanilla. I think it has some tropical florals in it, and that's kind of what I get, this kind of creamy, tropical, floral vanilla, you know? That's not too much, that's not overpowering, that never goes into that kind of coconut suntan lotion type of vibe. It never gets there, but yeah, it's a tropical floral vanilla that's quite beautiful. I really enjoy this one. And Arancia di Sicilia is a really unique scent because it is a citrus scent, but I think there is almonds, or I think it's almonds or some other nutty note that's added to it, which makes it really unique and makes it really interesting. Like, it doesn't stand out too much, like it's not overpowering this scent, but you feel that addition of this soft nuttiness playing together with all the citruses and musk, and maybe some ambery notes or woody notes, and it just makes it really interesting and kind of unique scent. Interesting, different. I know there are a few other scents that have this addition of almonds to them, you know, so I know it's not completely unique, but relatively speaking, you know, there are not that many scents that have that kind of citrusy nutty combination. So I think it's beautiful. I think it's interesting. It makes it a little bit creamy, I think, addition of this nutty note. So yeah, both of these are beautiful, interesting scents, not very talked about, but I think this is a very, very interesting house that I definitely want to explore further. Okay, so I have two more houses to talk about. Let's get this one out of the way. You were probably expecting to see this one on the list if you watched me for some time, and yes, it is on the list. That is Fueguia, 1833. Yes, it's an amazing house that really deserves more hype, a lot more hype. Very, very, very unique house. Not just a specific unique fragrance. I think it's a unique house in general. So I have 3 fragrances from them: chocolate, amber caruya, or something like that. And I also have a smaller bottle of La Cautiva. Love, love, love all of them. So let's start with La Cautiva because this is the first one that I got. This is like blackberry or blueberry sorbet, or maybe really light ice cream, but more like sorbet probably. It's beautiful, it's understated, it's just so unique. All the fragrances are so unique. Like they all have this kind of, I don't know, green or naturalistic vibe going through all of their fragrances, which are not going to be everybody's cup of tea for sure. Like I said, it's a unique house that many people will not like, and many people like me will really, really fall in love with. You have got to test these fragrances first. Do not blind buy any of them. They're very, very different, and I would say not mass appealing. Really, you got to test them, but test them because they're worth it. They're so amazing. Anyways, that's La Cautiva. Next, let's go to Amber Caruya. I'm sticking with that. This is about passion fruit. So it has passion fruit. I think it has citruses and it has milk, I think. So this is a slightly lactonic take on passion fruit, but if you're thinking Xerjoff Cruz del Sur 2, don't. It's nothing like that. This is very light and very sophisticated and not sour at all and not heavy on the milk note. It just gives it some creaminess, some milkiness, but passion fruit is definitely the star. It is a bit sweet, but definitely not too sweet, not overpowering, because citruses definitely bring like this freshness to this scent as well. Anyways, amazing. And the one that I have probably worn the most so far, which I didn't think I would. And if you look at the bottle, it looks like I haven't used it at all, but I have. It's just that these are very potent and you need very little of these fragrances, especially this one. And this is the chocolate, which is chocolate but not chocolate. It has cocoa in it. It has vanilla orchid. I think it has rum. And oh, what an amazing, intoxicating, addictive scent. You know, I've talked about it in a number of recent videos. So I am not going to spend too much time on this, but this is a very, very unique take on chocolate. Definitely worth sampling for sure. Now, I've tried quite a few other fragrances from Fueguia. You know, I have a full dedicated video to this house. If I remember, I'll link it somewhere here. Many of them stood out to me. A few that I can mention is oh, this one I'm definitely gonna butcher. Quilombo. I don't know. This sounds terrible, but this scent kind of smells like condensed milk. You know, for gourmand lovers, you might really enjoy it. Another one that really, really stood out to me and that I definitely want to add to my collection is Flores Negras, which is so interesting. Like it has, I don't remember actually what notes it has, but I think it has some floral notes or something. But to me, it actually has more of a fruity take on it. Like it has some, it's a scent that's a little bit oily. I always describe it that way, and it might sound strange, but it has real richness to the quality and texture of that scent. So yeah, it's really, really unusual and really beautiful. I want to add it to my collection. Like I said, there are quite a few others that I have tried and quite a few others that I want to try. But yeah, you know my love for this house, and if you have an opportunity to sample it, if you have an opportunity to visit one of their boutiques, definitely do that. And we have one more house to go, and this is a house, it's funny because I have been talking about this house for probably about a year now. And nobody else talked about it. And recently, I think it's So Avant-Garde that started carrying this house, and all of a sudden people are starting to talk about it. It's starting to pop up. And I'm glad that that's the case, you know, because I think really, really interesting and beautiful house. The house is State of Mind. I only have one bottle from them, that's Spontaneous Generosity, but I have sampled a number of other of their fragrances, and I definitely enjoyed several more for sure. I mean, you know, I would love to get a few more. The prices are definitely very high, and you know, I would love to, I'm sure no one from So Avant-Garde is watching this, but if someone is, all of a sudden, you know, I used to order from them like a while back, and then all of a sudden they got this insane shipping charge to Canada, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna order anymore. Like it's ridiculous, you know. So why all of a sudden this insane high charge, shipping charge to Canada? Please go back to how it was, because yes, even though they have discounts, you know, but then you apply the discount and then the shipping charge, and it's like, okay, so at the end, I'm paying more for this fragrance than its original price. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame. That's all I'm saying. So I can't purchase it from So Avant-Garde for that reason. And it's really not widely available at this point, but I hope it will become more popular. Anyways, I believe that all of their fragrances are based on tea notes, different tea notes, because this house also produces like actual tea. And so there are a few that I liked from the ones that I sampled. Another one that really stood out to me was, I think, called Butterfly Mind. It's kind of this springy, light scent. It has, if I remember correctly, it has cherry blossom in it together with green tea, perhaps, well, some kind of tea. And it's really, really pretty, really pretty. I think if I was to purchase a second bottle, that would probably be the one that I would purchase. But the one that I got originally is Spontaneous Generosity, because it's quite gourmand and that's what I enjoy. So, you know, it's a very sweet scent. I know it has caramel, it has black tea, I think. It has some other sweet notes, some woody notes. To me, it really feels like it's a combination of caramel and honey that's mixed in it together with a really strong, hot cup of black tea. I enjoy tea scents, so for me, this is beautiful. And obviously, I enjoy gourmand, so yeah, it's delicious. It's really, really delicious, beautiful scent, high quality, very good performer. So yeah, the bottle is quite unusual. I can't say that it's my favorite bottle design. I won't lie to you. It's not, but it's definitely unique. I can give it points for that. So anyways, again, this is Spontaneous Generosity from State of Mind. So these are the underrated fragrance houses that I wanted to talk to you about, that I wanted to tell you about. Hopefully maybe it will inspire you to try some of the fragrances that I talked about. And if you know of any other underrated houses that maybe not many people talk about, or you think that I should definitely sample, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to comment, and to subscribe. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.